Hi, it's Nat and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today's video is going to be about the Aries full moon that's happening on this upcoming Monday, October 6th. And the Aries full moon is going to happen at 8:47 p.m. Pacific time. So one thing that I have specifically observed during Aries lunar transits, and it never fails me every Aries full moon, is that it may be a time where you are experiencing headaches right now. I'm an Aries moon, so I don't know if this is just because I have an Aries moon in my birth chart. So Aries lunations affect me more, but I've observed that every Aries lunation I experience pretty severe headaches. So if this is something that you're experiencing right now, it could potentially be because we have an Aries full moon coming up. And Aries is the sign that rules the head. So this makes a lot of sense that headaches and pressure in the head and maybe even a lot of thinking and focus on the head is something that's coming up for us right now. So I just want to start with that little tip because Aries full moons can be pretty intense, and the moon doesn't really like to be in Aries because Aries is it can be aggressive, it can be very driven, it can be very quick moving, impulsive, and instinctual, and in the ways that are very much about go, go, go instead of rest and reflection. And we know that the moon is all about rest and reflection. It's about our inner world, our inner emotions. So when you have an Aries lunation, it could bring up a lot of intense feelings right now. I want to look at what Mars is doing during this lunation because Mars is the ruler of Aries. So Mars is going to give us a little bit of a hint of what energy could be coming up for us right now. And Mars is in Scorpio. And Mars is also the other ruler of Scorpio. So we have this really big focus on transformation. Not only the planets that are aspecting with each other, but the fact that it's an Aries full moon and the ruler of Aries is in Scorpio. And Scorpio is the sign of transformation. So there's a lot of transformative energy right now. And we have a couple squares that are bringing up intensity and internal struggle for us right now. And I think this Aries full moon is really about shedding old patterns, old thoughts, and really being focused on building a new identity, creating a new identity, or getting to the root of your current identity and letting go anything that does not keep you on your path. So the energy right now could feel extremely transformative, and my advice would be to lean into it and lean into be willing to expand, be willing to change, be willing to level up, and you have a lot of really transformative energy on your side right now. So getting right into the chart for the Aries full moon. And the only direct aspect to the full moon is that it is in opposition to the Libra sun. We are in Libra season, and what creates the full moon lunation is when the sun and the moon are opposite of each other. So this is the only direct aspect to the moon. And this may be causing us to feel a push and pull between our relationships and our personal self. And this is because This is because Libra is the sign of relationships. It's a sign of one-to-one relationships, whether they be romantic, platonic, or business relationships. So it Libra always deals with other people, and it deals with the harmony and striving for harmony in relationships. And Aries is all about the self. It's about our identity, it's about our looks, our personality, our physical body, and it's also about our personal drive and what we want. So, this full moon can bring up themes of our one-to-one relationships because we are in Libra season, and it could bring up themes of who we are, what we want to be, and who are we in our one-to-one relationships. We may be finding that there is a disconnect between who we are when we show up in our one-to-one relationships. We may want to change who we show up as in our one-to-one relationships, and it could be a really good time to reflect on who we are, who we want to be, and to consciously make changes towards ourselves and how we show up how we show up in our one-to-one relationships. So this full moon is going to bring up themes on the Libra and Aries axis. So for this full moon, like I mentioned, there was only one direct aspect to the full moon, which is the opposition of the sun and the moon. Now I'm going to get into what's happening around the full moon that is going to be affecting the energy at this time. And the first one I want to talk about is the square from Chiron in Aries at 25 degrees to Jupiter in Cancer at 23 degrees. And like I mentioned before, squares are tension and they are harsh aspects. They bring up intensity and like an internal and external struggle. So being aware of this energy is important in order for us to understand it, accept it, and find how to move forward. So I think this one is definitely bringing up themes of Aries, which is our identity and our self. Excuse me. And this is because we have Chiron in Aries. So Chiron is the wounded healer. It's where we have personal wounds that we are aware of or becoming aware of, and it is our, I guess, our life purpose to become more aware, more accepting, and more understanding of our Chiron placement. So Chiron in Aries deals with wounds around our identity and our sense of self, potentially our physical body. And when it's squaring Jupiter in Cancer, that square is going to, let me back up just a second. Jupiter is about expanding. It's about expanding our knowledge and expanding our experiences in order to create our personal life philosophy. Jupiter is all about wanting us to think big, to be bold, to have fun, to discover new things about ourselves and new things about the world. So when we have Jupiter, this planet that wants us to expand, and it's squaring Chiron and Aries, which is wounds around ourself, we may be finding that we're having a hard time expanding and thinking big and acting big, and maybe a hard time around wanting to transform, because when you are dealing with Jupiter and dealing with being bold and thinking big and acting big, there's a level of like uncomfortable action that needs to be taken to be courageous and be bold and to put yourself out there. So Chiron squaring Jupiter right now could be having us feel this tension around wanting to expand, but maybe not feeling ready to expand just yet, or maybe feeling like we don't want to be completely seen at the moment. So when we're aware of this, we can really understand that with squares, the purpose is to feel the intensity, feel the tension and the struggle, and to overcome it and to find a way forward. So squares aren't always here to restrict us and to keep us small. They're here to show us how, if we remain the same, if we choose to continue to do the same thing, we are going to continue to feel an internal struggle, a struggle that's keeping us small. So maybe during this time and this full moon, let go of anything that is preventing you, any self-limiting thoughts and patterns that are preventing you from trying something new, expanding your knowledge in a certain area, or expanding your friend group, or expanding your experiences. The next aspect I'm going to talk about is still involving Jupiter, and it's a positive aspect. It is a sextile, and remember that sextiles are potential and they require us to put in effort and energy in order to take advantage of this potentially positive outcome. So we have Jupiter in Cancer at 23 degrees, sextile Venus in Virgo at 21 degrees. And I think this is a really cool sextile that's supporting this full moon right now, because we have Jupiter, the planet of expansion, and it's sextiling Venus, the planet of love, beauty, and values. And before I make connection with this aspect, I want to note that Venus in Virgo, to me, when I think of Venus in Virgo, it's very much acts of service. Venus is about love and about our values. And when it's in Virgo, Virgo is the sign of being of service. So we may be finding that when Venus is in Virgo, or if you're someone who has Venus in Virgo in your personal birth chart, acts of service may be your love language. It may be how you express love to others, and it may be how you love to receive love from others. So acts of service with Venus in Virgo is already a prominent theme. And when we have Venus in Virgo sextile Jupiter in Cancer, we may find during this time that acts of service may be pretty grand. We may be making big and bold and expansive acts of service towards the people we love and to show our love. And we also may be receiving large acts of service from others who are appreciative and loving and supporting and want to show how they love us. So acts of service may be on a bigger scale right now, whether you're doing an act of service, giving an act of service, or you are receiving an act of service. And because we have Jupiter in Cancer, this may be, this could potentially be in the area of family, whether that's the family we've grown up in, or our chosen family, or the family that we're creating with our partners. I have another aspect that I want to talk about that's involving Jupiter, and this aspect is within a 5-degree orb. So it's not as potent or direct, but it's still a positive aspect that I think is worth talking about. And this is Jupiter in Cancer at 23 degrees, trine Saturn in Pisces at 27 degrees. And Jupiter and Saturn are both these outward, more masculine energies. And Saturn is all about discipline. It's about doing the necessary steps to achieve a goal. It's about time, it's about boundaries, and it's about rules and restrictions. And when we have Saturn trine Jupiter, which is expansive and bold and big, and it thinks out of the box. When we have Jupiter and Saturn in a trine, we may find that, I think this is a really good symbol of hard work paying off. Saturn is hard work. It's the work that we put in time and time again that pays off with time. And we may find that a goal that we were working towards, that we have put in time, energy, that we have been disciplined with, is paying off. And that could be because Jupiter is trining Saturn right now. We could be receiving luck. We could be feeling lucky and be receiving rewards from our hard work. And I want to note that Saturn is in Pisces. It's retrograde right now. So anyone who has Saturn in Pisces, I have Saturn in Pisces. The past 2 years have been our Saturn return. So the fact that Saturn has just moved back into Pisces, this could be receiving rewards, feeling lucky, and our hard work paying off from themes of our Saturn return. And I could actually tell that this is something that I'm feeling happening in my personal life right now. So if you're someone who has Saturn in Pisces, you may be receiving luck and abundance from your hard work, and specifically from the hard work that you spent when Saturn was in Pisces the past couple years. So you may feel that past themes are coming up, past goals or experiences that you worked really hard towards are receiving the benefits that they deserve right now. So another aspect that we have is Mercury in Scorpio at 0 degrees, square Pluto in Aquarius at 1 degree. And squares, we know, are tension and intensity, and they can be an internal and external struggle. So when we have Mercury, the planet of communication, it's how we communicate, it's who we communicate with, it's how we process information. And it's squaring Pluto, which is the planet of deep, deep transformation. And also the planet of getting to the root of an issue, and the planet that does a lot of shadow work. When we have these two planets squaring, we could find that maybe there's a lot of mental processing around our shadows and experiences and patterns that no longer serve us, but we're still engaging in. And we may be finding that it is creating an internal struggle and a mental struggle, and it could deal with how we communicate with ourselves, and it could also just deal with harsh patterns, outdated patterns, limiting beliefs, and shadow work right now. And it could be what we are communicating, whether we're communicating to ourselves or we're communicating to others, our shadows, and how we're transforming, why we want to transform. And maybe that we're finding that we have some outdated and limiting beliefs that we want to let go of. So and another connection is that Mercury's in Scorpio. Scorpio is deep transformation. And Pluto is one of the rulers of Scorpio. So the theme of taboo, deep transformation, getting to the root of an issue, um, uncomfortable patterns and thoughts. That's really a big theme right now that's connected to communication and how we talk to ourselves. And on a bigger scale, Pluto's in Aquarius, and Aquarius is the sign of larger groups of people. It's the sign of our friend groups, the communities we're a part of, and the collective. So, and one other thing that I've missed is that Scorpio Scorpio and Scorpio energy. It really embodies getting to the truth and um, getting really honest with ourselves and with our communication with others. So there may be some honest, some truthful, some shadow like communication that is also affecting the collective and the communities we are a part of and larger groups of people. There may also be secrets being revealed, truth being revealed when Pluto and Scorpio and Mercury are all involved. Because Scorpio is that planet of bringing up the buried, bringing up secrets, bringing up truth that is intentionally covered. And I think that's all, and that's also the theme of Pluto because Pluto is a ruler of Scorpio. So right now we may be hearing a lot about people's personal truth, and we may also be seeing the truth be revealed right now, whether it's something that's pleasant or unpleasant. We have a couple squares that are happening during this full moon lunation, just like the one I talked about, which is Mercury squaring Pluto. And then we had Chiron squaring Jupiter. So I think squares are the perfect opportunity that come up during full moons because they bring up this tension and this internal struggle during full moons, which is a time to release, let go, and move on from. So, any struggles that you are feeling and dealing with and focusing on right now, the full moon is a perfect time to have that energy come up and to consciously let it go and move on from it. And Aries is all about the self. We have the full moon happening in the sign of Aries. So whatever you choose to let go from, or whatever you choose to let go of right now, it's going to support your identity. It's going to support who you're becoming, and it's going to be pretty transformational. So that is it for the Aries full moon. I'm excited for this lunation because I have a Aries moon in my personal birth chart. So I feel that the themes are pretty potent for me right now. And I know that I'm ready to step into transformation, step into a new version of myself with this full moon. So I hope all of you are feeling ready as well. And don't be afraid to shed anything that no longer serves you. So thank you everyone for watching. I will see you all for my next video. Take care.